in the quiet suburb of Richmond, British Columbia, Canada. A strange and terrifying mystery unfolded throughout the 1980s, one that still haunts the public imagination. It revolves around Cindy James, a 44-year-old nurse, who vanished under circumstances so bizarre and disturbing that investigators couldn't agree whether she was the victim of a sadistic stalker or her own mind. Cindy was a compassionate, well-liked woman who had just finalized a divorce from a psychiatrist named Roy Makepeace. Not long after the divorce, she began reporting strange and terrifying incidents. It started with threatening phone calls, often anonymous, with whispers or chilling threats. Then, things escalated. Her porch lights were smashed, her phone lines cut, and ominous notes were left at her door. But that was only the beginning. Cindy claimed someone was breaking into her home. She said she saw shadows in the windows and heard someone prowling outside. On several occasions, she was found with her hands and feet bound, or with black stockings around her neck, as if someone had tried to strangle her. In one case, she was discovered semi-conscious in a ditch, wearing only one shoe and suffering from hypothermia. Another time, she was found in her garage with a needle mark in her arm and no memory of how she got there. Police began to investigate, but there was one problem. There was never any evidence of forced entry, footprints, or fingerprints. No neighbors saw anything. And every time Cindy was attacked or found, it seemed impossible that she could have staged it herself. It impossible that someone else had done it without being seen. The harassment went on for 7 years. Cindy was terrified. She changed her phone number multiple times, moved homes repeatedly, and even hired a private investigator. She had a panic button installed and adopted a large dog. Still, the attacks continued. Many people, including the police, began to question her story. Some suggested she had dissociative identity disorder, or that she was orchestrating everything for attention or as a cry for help. Ben Roy Makepeace even claimed she had a history of emotional instability. But her friends and family insisted Cindy was genuinely terrified and that no one would go to such lengths to torment themselves. Then, in May 1989, Cindy disappeared. Inside were groceries she had just bought and a wrapped gift. Blood was found on the driver's side door and items were strewn around. 2 weeks later, her body was found in the bushes near an abandoned house, 1.5 miles from where her car had been left. She was hogtied with ropes and had a black stocking knotted tightly around her neck. But here's the strangest part. The autopsy revealed no signs of a struggle. She had multiple drugs in her system, including morphine and diazepam, in fatal doses. The medical examiner could not determine how she had tied herself up in such a complex way. While under the influence of heavy narcotics, the coroner's inquest ruled her death an unknown event. Theories ranged from elaborate suicide to murder by an unknown stalker to a psychotic breakdown. Some experts insisted she could have staged the entire thing, even the final act. Others argued no person could bind themselves in that condition or withstand the pain and terror she endured. In the end, the case remains unsolved. To this day, the mystery of Cindy James divides opinion. Was she mentally ill and orchestrating a years-long campaign of self-harm? Or was she tormented to death by a predator who was cunning enough to leave no trace? What's undeniable is that Cindy lived in fear, real or imagined, for nearly a decade. And she died alone, bound and drugged, in the shadows of the very streets she once called home. Her final note read, "I'm scared. I feel helpless.